Hi, my name is Evan Michael Zislis. I'm the author of the Amazon #1 bestseller, Clutter-Free Revolution, and founder of Intentional Solutions based just outside of Aspen, Colorado. I'm a strategies consultant. I help people to simplify so they can focus on the things that matter most, and that is who we love, what we do, how and why we live. I do it in 5 ways: organization, operational systems, time and task management, content creation, and professional networking. That's how I help people. I work with businesses, households, students and teachers, and people in life transitions. Today we're talking about how to get organized. And that is a really important skill to have no matter where you are in your life. I work with kids, I work with adults, I work with executives and entrepreneurs. I work with families, parents, and schools and teachers. So this is a really important life lesson, because if you can organize anything in any space, you're going to be able to develop the part of your brain that it's called executive function. And this is a really important concept that unfortunately doesn't get enough play, certainly not in traditional school settings or educational settings. But executive function is the part of your brain that integrates new information with old information. It enables you to really hone in on one thing at a time, to be able to focus, to be able to integrate what you already knew with new things coming at you all the time. It enables you to creatively problem solve just about anything. So getting organized is a tremendous skill that will serve you for the rest of your life in every area of your life. And what I did was I created a 3-step method. So this is the Intentional Solutions 3-step method. I use it for absolutely everything I do, working with everyone that I work with. And this is absolutely universal in its application, which means it would have applied to people 100 years ago or 100 years from now, and it'll apply to anybody anywhere on the planet, no matter what it is they're looking at, whether it's the physical things in their space, clutter, for example, or complex concepts, information, operational systems. It's great for organizing anything, which is really cool. So let's just jump right in and I'll show you what it looks like. First, the Intentional Solutions 3-step method starts with a question. And the question is, what is your ideal vision for what you'd like this to look like? And if you're not really sure, you can try to figure out what you don't want it to look like. So if you're just looking at a cluttered environment, for example, the physical clutter, you can see, I really don't want these things in here and these things are kind of a mess. What would I like this space to look like on the basis of that? So that's step 1. That's Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Habit number 2, which is start with the end in mind. So we ask ourselves, what is the ideal vision? If we could wave our magic wand and have this be all done, what would it look like? That gives us a direction to start walking in. Now, to get to the 3-step method, step 1 is simplify. Now, simplify is how we start. This is the forest through the trees effect. Sometimes it's hard to even see what you're looking at because there's just too much in front of you. If you could whittle it away to what is absolutely essential, to who you want to be and what you're trying to do, then you're going to be left with what is absolutely essential. So when we're talking about the physical clutter, the stuff in your space, if that's what we're starting to organize, because really clutter is just a metaphor, but let's start with the physical, the tangible stuff in your space. When we need to simplify, another word for that is purge. And in Clutter-Free Revolution, my book, I talk about the big purge. And the big purge is really drastically scrutinizing absolutely everything in your space and trying to get rid of as much as you can. The fewer variables in the equation makes the formula a little bit simpler to solve. So we start with simplify. Now, there's 3 steps, and there's 4 sub-steps for each step. So, under simplify, the first thing we look for is what's trash? What can just go away? The next thing that we look for is what's recyclable? What can be recycled? The next thing is what is thrift or giftable? The next thing is what is consign or tradable? So, however you spell tradable. So, You guys know all of this, but what I'm doing is I'm giving you a framework that you can follow, and what that's going to do is it's going to enable you to repeat this process no matter what space you're looking at, and whenever you feel stuck, you can just come right back to this. So first we want to do is we want to get rid of the things that are not essential. Step 2, clarify. Another word for clarify is organize. So we want to get clarity on what are the things that are essential that are going to serve who we want to be and what we want to do. We do it in 4 ways. First way is like things together. That's pretty simple, but we don't do it very often, unfortunately. This is pasta with pasta, M&Ms with M&Ms, socks with socks, underwear with underwear, nails with nails, hammers with hammers, tools, etc. So Band-Aids with Band-Aids. So like things together. There's no underwear in my M&Ms, right? Hopefully. And so the reason why we do that is so we want to be able to go to one location and be able to find all of the kinds of things that are associated with that particular thing. So like things together. Second sub-step is things are easy to find. Easy to find usually means it has a label or it's in a transparent container. I can see, just by looking at it, what it is. So the next step is easy to reach. That's the convenience factor. The next one is out of the way. So easy to reach but out of the way, close but not too close. So how do I know where to put anything? Well, that's pretty simple. I have a little formula that says proximity equals urgency. Now what that means is the more urgently I'm going to need something, the closer it should live to me. So that makes it convenient for me to get it when I need it. The things that are less urgent live further away. So I talk about functional storage, which is the kinds of storage for the things that we reach for all the time. And then there's archival storage, things that we rarely reach for, if ever, but don't want to get rid of. So what we look here is easy to reach but out of the way, and that's proximity equals urgency. That kind of gives us a framework for where things should live. So once we've gotten organized and we've put like things together so that they're easy to find with either a label or in a transparent container so I can just look at it and see what it is. And I've put things easy to reach and out of the way. We move on to step 3. Step 3 is inspire. Another way to talk about that for the stuff in your space is this is the design piece, or the interior design piece. This piece is the most fun. It's the most creative. It's the most inspiring. And really why we need this is because we need to be inspired to do this maintenance. This is an ongoing process. And when we feel inspired, we're going to be more likely to continue this process for the long term, and we're going to be able to get the long-term results that we're hoping for. So the 4 sub-steps for inspire, or that design piece, the interior design piece, if you will. First sub-step is what's the aesthetic? How does it look and feel? That's the design piece, what I call intentional interior design. The next piece is how does it function? Or does it function? It needs to work, right? The next step is flexibility. Typical example for flexibility is if you've got a home office and you sometimes use it as a guest room. We need to be able to accommodate multiple uses for the same space, right? So flexibility is built in. The next thing is lifestyle. What are your personal preferences? What are the things that are going to really make this feel like you've got ownership of it? So let's just talk about how this thing goes together. First, we simplify. This is the forest through the trees effect. Sometimes it's really hard to see what you're looking at. You've got to take all of the things away that don't really serve who you want to be and what you want to do. That's the big purge. We do it in 4 ways. What can be trashed, recycled, thrifted or gifted, consigned or traded. That's the things that we want to try to retain some of the value for the things that we're really getting rid of. Step 2 is clarify. We need to get some clarity, and that's organize. So when we organize, we do it like things together so that things are easy to find, easy to reach, but out of the way. So that's proximity equals urgency. And then we really want to become inspired to do this maintenance. We want to make sure, because everything that is good, whether it's a high performance automobile or fitness for our bodies or it could be anything that is really performing at a peak level needs to be maintained. So we need to feel inspired to do this maintenance all the time so that it just becomes part of who we are. We do it in 4 ways. What is the aesthetic? We got to really love how it looks and feels. We've got to make sure that it works. It's got to function. It's got to have some built-in flexibility to it. And it's got to suit our personal preferences. It's got to match our lifestyle. So you can use this, again, remember, clutter and organization can be used in any context. So you can apply this to writing a term paper. You could apply it to writing copy for a website, creating a business plan for a new business. Absolutely everything that you do, if you've got too much in front of you, it's going to be really difficult to get clarity. So we've got to simplify things. What can we whittle away so that we're only working with the basic essentials? We organize them and then we soup it up. This is where we really bring it to life with style and vibrancy so that it becomes inspiring, not only to us, but other people. So that's the Intentional Solutions 3-step method. For more information, please visit myintentionalsolutions.com. And if you're interested in the book, the #1 Amazon international bestseller, Clutter-Free Revolution, check out clutterfreerevolution.com. Thanks very much, and we'll talk to you next time.